So here, as you guys can see, now I'm here in the home page of the MS Word. So from here, first off, I will be creating up a blank document. Okay. So suppose if you want to view your macro option, okay, you will come here onto the view option, and here on the right hand side, just beside the switch windows option, I do have my macros option over here. Okay. So there are two things, like if you want to view macros, if you want to record the macro, or if you want to stop or pause the recording for a while. So basically from here you will be able to record a macro. So let me guys make you guys understand that why you will use a macro right over here. Okay, so the first thing is, suppose you do have to write a letter. Okay, then each and every time with the shortcut key you guys will be able to get those command over here, and you guys will be able to write those things down. Okay, so suppose you do have to make a set. Okay, so in that case what I'll do is I will come over here. Okay, and now I will just make up a template. Okay, so before that what I will do is I will come here and I will click on record macro. Okay, so once I click on this record macro option, okay, so what I will do is I will just name this as class project format. Okay, so I will just write this class project format over here, and now I will select the keyboard option right over here. Okay, so I will just click on this one, come to macros again, go to record macro. So let me just save this one as this particular thing, and let's come to this particular option, and now from here I will need to select a new shortcut key. Okay, so what shortcut key do I want to set? So maybe I will select Control Shift plus C. Okay, so here you can see now once I have clicked on that, here you can see now I do have the Control plus Shift plus C over here. Okay, so in that case, now what I'll do is I will just click on assign. Okay, and after that I will just close this thing down. Okay, so once I've closed this thing, here on my mouse you guys can see there is a icon here on my mouse. Okay, so now what I will do is I will start typing. Okay, so I will just write a description, and I will just use a colon over here. Okay, and I'll just come down. Okay, and here what I'm going to do is I will just write step. Okay, so I will just step 1, and again I'll come down and I will write step 2, and I'll come down over here again. I will write step 3, and maybe I'll just write till step 5. Okay, step 5 or step 4 over here. Okay, step 4, come down, write step 5, and then come down here again and just write outcome. Okay, so I will just write outcome over here. And what I'm going to do is I am going to use colon again, and now again I will come down over here, and now what I'll do is once I'm done with this particular format, it can be any format. Okay, so I'm just showing you guys over here, that's why I have just got this format. Okay, so in this case if you want to select all this, and now if you want to increase its size, go to home page option, and from here basically you guys will be able to increase its size here as well. So once I've increased the size over here, okay, and everything else like the spacing and stuff is fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to come here again onto my view option, and from the view option what I'll do is I will just click on stop recording option. Okay, so here you guys can see now I have stopped recording this thing. Okay, so now if I come to this option, and what I do is I will just click, or I will just delete this one. Okay, so I will just use Control Z. Okay, I'll select all this and I will just click on my delete button. So here you guys can see now it's being deleted. Okay, so you guys remember once I was applying that macros over here, okay, I do have set a shortcut key to get that particular file again here. Okay, so the shortcut key was Control Shift plus C. Okay, so now if I click on Control Shift and C, here you guys can see that I do have that particular thing right over here again. Okay, so if I just come down over here, Control Shift C, so here you guys can see as many times I will click on that button, I will have that same document again and again over here. Okay, so you guys can just come down. Okay, so you guys can just delete it again over here. So this is how I have used the macro. And if I go to view macros, here you guys can see I do have this particular macro, which is right over here. Okay, so now again I will come back. Okay, I will show you guys another usage of this. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to write some items name. Okay, so what I'll do is I will write cakes, cokes, then I will write pastries, pastries, then I'll come down and I will write buns, then I'll write bagels, then I'll come down here and I will write coffee, and I will write tea. Okay, so here you guys can basically see that now I do have all these things right over here. So in that case, what I want to do is I just want to put on some of the things right here in front, okay, or in back. Like suppose if I do want all these things here inside a bracket, in that case I do have, what I have to do is I have to come here and manually do that. Suppose if I come here and again with my mouse I need to come over here and put on brackets, and suppose if I do have a list of 30, 40 or more than 100, in that case it's quite hectic to work like that. Okay, so in that case what I will do is I will just use my macro over here. Okay, so how to do that? So again, the same way, you need to come to the macros, and from macros you need to click on record macro. Okay, so this is my macro number 2. Okay, so now in that case if I come here and suppose I will set the macro name as bracket. Okay, so bracket over here, and what I'm going to do is I am going to select the keyboard option, and from here I need to select a shortcut key. Okay, so in that case what I'll do is I'll just click on Control Shift and B, and make sure that you remember what shortcut keys are you putting on for your macros. Okay, so in that case once you have put this one, okay, so now you just click on this assign button. Okay, so here I have assigned this one, and now I will close this thing down, and here as you guys can see now I do have my mouse over here. Okay, so in that case, if you are not able to get your mouse at the beginning over here, you guys can come here and just click on the home button from your keyboard. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you need to make a bracket first over here. Okay, so I will just create a bracket right over here. If I do want to give a space over here, I will be able to give that. And if I want to go back again to the last, okay, so what I'll do is I will just use my keyboard to do that. Okay, so I do have the right button, so I'll come here on the right hand side. Maybe if I just want to give this a space, I will give up a space and I will just close down the bracket from here. Okay, so once I'm done, what I'm going to do is I will go on to the macros option, and from here I can just stop recording. Otherwise, if I want to add more things, let's say I will come here and I will add three more full stops after that. Okay, so I have added three full stops over here. And what I'm going to do is I am going to stop recording my macro right over here. Okay, so now I have stopped recording the macro. And now if I want to put the same things which I have do here, I need to just click on my shortcut key for the macro, which was Control Shift and B. Okay, so here you guys can see I do have the Control Shift plus B over here, and the same way Control Shift B. Okay, otherwise I'll just go back again. Okay, so here you guys can see this is the way how you guys will be able to do these things up. Control Shift plus B. Okay, so this is how you guys will be able to put up your marks over here. Okay, so let's try this one. Okay, you guys can come over onto this point, and now I will just go back again. So this is how you guys will be able to put on all the things right over here. Whatever command you basically give, it will just come here and it will put those things accordingly. Okay, so here, while applying, okay, there was a bit of a problem. Okay, so the problem was once I have recorded the macro. Okay, so suppose I will just write run. Okay, so I will write run away over here, and now I want to put on some macros. Okay, so in that case what I'll do is I will come here onto the view macros option. Okay, and now I will come here, and what I'll do is I will just record a macro, go to the keyboard shortcut, and I'll just use Control Shift plus A. Okay, and I will assign this one, and I'll close this thing down. Okay, and now again I will just give up the bracket. Okay, come over here and give up a bracket and use these dots. Okay, so now again I will come here onto the macros, and I will just stop recording. Suppose I come here and I'll just write random. Okay, so if I just come right here random, and if I just bring my spacebar right over here, or my thing which is the type tool. Okay, Control Shift and A. Okay, so here you guys can see how it actually works right over here. So here you guys can have a lot of brackets over here. Okay, otherwise, to end this thing up, you guys can come here and give up different things. Okay, so if you want like how many ever word it is. Okay, in that case, if you want your letter to be inside, so in that case you need to come here, Control Z again. Okay, so let's come over here, and now suppose I will come here in the view macros option, and what I'm going to do is I am going to delete up this macro. Okay, so let's delete these things here as well. Okay, and I'll delete this last one over here as well. Okay, so now for now let's close this down. Okay, so let's come here and let's write cake, then come down, write Coke, then come down, write chocolates, and let's come down over here and let's write balloons. Okay, so I will just write balloons over here, and now what I'm going to do is I am going to come up over here in the record macro option, go to the keyboard option, and let's set Control Shift plus B. Okay, and now assign this one over here, close this thing down, and what I'm going to do is I am going to go to the home button from here. Okay, so let's go to the home button from here. Okay, suppose I will just come onto this one. Okay, and from here I will just add up a bracket. Okay, so let's add a bracket, and now again what I'll do is I will just go to the end. Okay, using my end button, and now I will leave another bracket over here. Okay, and now onto the macros, what I'm going to do is I am going to stop recording. Okay, so let's come here and let's see. Okay, so here you guys can see I have added this one, Control Shift B again. Okay, so here this is how you guys will be able to put on your commands. Okay, so make sure that when you are doing, instead of using the right or the left hand button, you use the end and the home button from your keyboard. Okay, so these are few of the commands which you guys can use. Okay, if I'm not, if it's more than 5 words, suppose the place where you put command, they had 4 words, but the word you're working with, they do have a 10, 12 words in that case, okay, or letters. So in that case, you guys will be able to put the same command as well. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood this class and hope to see you all in the next chapter. I hope you guys have understood macros. So the same way you guys will be able to use, or you guys will be able to get your commands according to yourself. Okay, you guys can use it in a lot of place for a lot of commands, and make sure that macro will be recording each and every movement what you're making on your page. Whatever changes you're making, it will record that, and once you put on that particular command, it will just paste those things right over here. Okay, and if you want to view your macros, you guys can come here and you guys can just view your macros from here. If you want to run that into, okay, you guys can also run it from here. Okay, if you want to edit from here, okay, you guys will also be able to edit down your macros right from here. Okay, so here you guys can see you do have some codings. You guys can also do the coding. Okay, so basically from here, if you want to make any changes, suppose I want to change the text type from here, so let's give this open bracket over here, and this side I will come and I want to give up a close bracket. So now I will come here, and if I just go back, go back again. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I will come here, and now I will just click on the view macros option. Okay, and I will just want to run it. Okay, so here you guys can see this is run over here. So now again, if I come and if I click on a control shift plus B or Control Shift A. Okay, so here you guys can see the changes right over here. Okay, or if you want to view your things, view your macros, and if you want to edit this, okay, you guys will be able to edit it from here as well. Okay, so I'll just close this thing down, go onto your macros, go to view macros. Okay, if you want to delete it, okay, you can delete it here as well. If you want to create a new one, you guys will also be able to replace it with the existing macro. Okay, so you guys will be able to do that from here as well. So I'll go to the view macros option and I'll delete all the macros available over here. Okay, and close this down. So I hope you guys have understood the usage of macro, how you'll be able to use it here in your particular file. So hope to see you all in the next class. Till then, take care and goodbye everyone.